कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय गौरानिता जय सच्चिनंदना जय सच्चिनंदना जय सच्चिनंदना गौर हरे गौरा गौरा गौर हरे गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। एवं विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मंस परविराज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर से तो श्री श्रीमद त्रिवेंकटेश्वरी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जाए। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का जय अष्टोत्तर से तो श्रीमद त्रिवेंकटेश्वरी भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाए। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बंधु की जाए। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जाए। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त बंधु की जाए। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाए। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जाए। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए। गंगमय यमुनामय की जाए। भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी की जाए। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जाए। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाए। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बो। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. What ki jai. नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number, chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, verse number 4 to 7. Please chant, repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Harihi Om Tatsat. 2.4 Arjuna Vacha Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Isubhi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. Arjuna Vacha Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Isubhi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. Arjuna Vacha Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhye Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. Word to word translation. Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna said, Katam, how, Bhishmam, Bhishma, Aham, I, Sankhye, in the fight, Dronam, Drona, Cha, also, Madhusudana, O killer of Madhu, Ishubhi, with arrows, Prati Otsyami, shall counterattack, Pujar, how, those who are worshipful, Arisudana, O killer of the enemies. Translation by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna said, O killer of the enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? Repeat. Arjuna said, O killer of the enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? 2.5 Gurun nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktam vaikshyam api haloke hatvardhakamamstu gurun nihaiva bunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan. Gurun nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktam vaikshyam api haloke. हत्वार्धकामांसु गुरुर्निहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुद्रप्रदिग्धान् गुरुन्न हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्षमपि हलोके हत्वार्धकामांसु गुरुर्निहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुद्रप्रदिग्धान्. Word to word translation. Gurun, the superiors, ahatva, not killing, he certainly, mahanubhavan, great souls, shreya, it is better, bhoktum, to enjoy life, bhaiksham, by begging, api, even, iha, in this life, loke, in this world, hatva, killing, artha, gain, kaman, desiring, tu, but, gurun, superiors, iha, in this world, eva, certainly, bunjiya, one has to enjoy, Bhogan, enjoyable things. Rudira, blood. Pradigdhan, tainted with. Translation. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Repeat, it would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Verse number 6. Na chaitadvidma kataranna gariyo yadi va jayema yadi va na jayeyo यानेव हत्वा न जीजीविषाम ते अवस्थिता प्रमुखे दाप्तराष्ट्राः न चैतद्विद्म कतरन्न गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा न जयेयु यानेव हत्वा न जीजीविषाम ते अवस्थिता प्रमुखे दाप्तराष्ट्राः न चैतद्विद्म कतरन्न गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा न जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषाम ते अवस्थिता प्रमुखे दार्तराष्ट्राः. Translation. Na, nor, cha, also, etad, this, vidmah, do we know, katarat, which, na, for us, gariya, better, yadva, whether, jayema, we may conquer, yadi, if, va, or, na, us, jayu, they conquer, yan, those who, eva, certainly, hatva, by killing, na, never, jijivisama, we would want to live, te, all of them, avastitaha, are situated, Pramukhe, in the front, Dhartarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra. The sons of Dhritarashtra. Translation. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Please repeat. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Verse number 7. This is the most important verse. Karpanyadoshopahatah svabhava pruchami tvam dharma sammudachetaha यश्रेयस्यान् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं स्वादिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावा पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यश्रेयस्यान् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं स्वादिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावा पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यश्रेयस्यान् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं स्वादिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Word to word translation. Karpanya, of miserliness. Dosha, by the weakness. Upahata, being afflicted. Swabhava, characteristics. Pruchami, I am asking. Tvam, unto you. Dharma, religion. Sammuda, bewildered. Cheta, in heart. Yat, what? Sreya, all good. Syat, maybe. Nishchitam, confidently. Bruhi, tell. Tat, that. Me, unto me. Shishyaha, disciple. Te, your. Aham, I am. Sadi, just instruct. Mam, me. Tvam, unto you. Prapannam, surrendered. Translation. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Repeat. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is the best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I will try to understand what Krishna is trying to tell us. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girim yatkrupa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhayevacha Vatanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo Vaishnav ki jai. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Thank you for joining. So here in this we are in the second chapter, contents of Gita summarized. So we covered first, second, third. We are discussing here fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So this section is basically pre-qualification before receiving transcendental knowledge, before receiving the actual real instructions for the benefit of the permanent benefit for the living entity, the soul, the spiritual spark, the living force, permanent benefit, that kind of instruction. This is the stepping stone. This is the first step. So far in the chapter 1, nothing has happened. Second chapter beginning, this is the first few verses. So the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita is setting the scene. It is called Observing the Armies, but it has much more context to it. In terms of the material worlds, the glimpse of material it is giving, we discussed so how the dharma is being established, and then how the unwanted things will be taken out. Those who doesn't want to follow dharma, like Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, the enviousness, jealousy, all those unwanted characteristics which is there in their heart and which is there in all of our hearts, some are little or more, whatever, some extent it is there. That's why we are here in this material world. So idea is for Bhagavad Gita, by taking the Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and putting in practice, so we'll be purifying more we take on and implementing in practice. So that is the main idea. Action with transcendental knowledge will help us. So we also understood how the leaders leaders must behave with some responsibility. So it is not just only position. We are all some kind of leaders, minute leaders at home, at job, at community, wherever we are. So we have to behave as per the Shastra injunctions. So, but in this case of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and Padi, so they want to occupy the post, they want to enjoy for themselves, but they don't want to follow the injunctions of the Shastra. They don't want to understand what is the main qualification to be on the post of a king. and what he should do, what he is not supposed to do. So that understanding was not there. Then we understood also that in order for us to gain victory, we can take up so many things, whether it's job or business or fighting, or so many things we can take up. But if you want to gain victory, we must understand how to gain victory beyond this, especially three modes of material nature, beyond this causing this material modes. So it's very difficult otherwise. Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, even though materially speaking they have so much power and wealth, everything they have. Pandavas didn't have anything except Krishna. They surrendered. And Krishna is there, Hanuman is there, Agnidev, chariot is there, because of their fully surrendered at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Atapi te deva padambujam janapi tattvam bhagavan mahimno. So as soon as the living entity, those who want to surrender to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, understand the higher nature, doesn't matter where he is coming from, whether he is pure or impure, whatever he has done in the past life, this life, that is immaterial. Minute he starts surrender, then that's when actual life begins, actual transformation begins from that point. So in this case, Pandavas has done that particular action. So that's why, so we can see the difference. Victory has already been established in the first chapter itself by blowing in terms of the conch shells. It shattered the hearts of this Duryodhana and all. 11 Akshonis they assembled. Bhishma, Drona, great warriors were there, uncomparable against the Pandavas. So Karna, generally nobody can defeat them, especially Bhishma and Karna. But because Krishna is there, so obviously nobody can. Jayestu Panduputranam, Esham Pakshe Janardana. Wherever Janardana is there, wherever his disciple, his servant Arjuna is there is no defeat. They are always victorious. And it is happening on the place of pilgrimage, Kurukshetra, righteous place. That's why Dhritarashtra was very much doubtful of the victory. So that's why he was asking Sanjaya in the first verse itself. And then in the first verse itself, it's already established, no, you are not going to win this war. Even though he spoke the words, it has already been decided by Suddha Saraswati from his speech that he is going to lose big time. So in this way, chapter 1 is giving various instructions to us how to behave as a leader, how to follow the injunctions of Shastra, not just simply go with the flow. Understand especially for human life, because there are reactions. For every action there is a reaction. Doesn't matter whether you have knowledge or not, reaction we have to face it. So nobody will face it. When we eat, when we have indigestion, anybody else is going to face it? Our mother, our father, our kids? No. We have to face it. Same way, when we do the action, anybody performing, they have to face the reaction. It doesn't matter how small, how big, none of those things will come into picture. So that's why it is very important to understand what action. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita there are 5 concepts, 5 fundamentals: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. The last one is very important. Ishvara, everybody knows, the Supreme Lord is the supreme controller, supreme enjoyer, supreme proprietor. And Jiva, the living entity, we are the Jivas, we are the minute Ishvaras, we are the being enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. Then Prakriti, the material nature, we are trying to enjoy taking the Lakshmi, taking the energy of the Supreme Lord without in relation with Krishna. So that's when we get the problem. That's the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is very important to understand and develop internal detachment, understand whom everything belongs to, so including our body, including our family, including our resources, even though we are working. That's what is giving the lesson. Bhagavad Gita is giving lesson from the beginning, from even these verses. We'll come to that point soon. So the last, the Ishvara, that's why last 6 chapters predominantly emphasizing more this Prakriti, because the main problem we are facing, the Arjuna is facing on the battlefield, we are all facing on an everyday basis, is we are identifying with the body, and we are identifying all these material resources, whatever we got, whatever we have every day, We are thinking it belongs to us. It is for my enjoyment. We are not thinking it is Krishna's property. We are not thinking in that way. So that's when the problem comes. There is a reaction to it, and there is a swabhava to it. There is a characteristic with which we behave. As soon as we are born, as probably when we grow up, there are certain behaviors. It is very difficult to change. And that's why it is mentioned, karpanya dosho upata swabhava. There it is already mentioned. Yasahi swabhavasya tasyaso duratikram. It is very difficult to change our behaviors unless we do something about it, unless we really act upon it to change that behavior. Then only we will be able to do something, we will be able to change that. Otherwise, it's not, ordinarily it is not possible to change our behaviors. So that's why the last point of Isvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, time factor, all four of these are eternal. Means it's coming and going. Time factor is relative in this world. Our ants' life with dogs, cats, and human being, all relative. Time factor. They live certain years, we live certain years. Demigods live even more than us. All these things are there. It's all comparative and relative. But the last point is the karma, activity. So that is the most important subject matter in whole Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada talks about in the introduction. Whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to transform the regular, ordinary activities, day-to-day basis activities into spiritual activities, into spiritual activity where it is not going to cause binding. That means we spiritualize it, and then ultimately when we spiritualize 100% at any point in our life, then that means we have reached to the highest level, and then we will not have this material body anymore after this, leaving this body. So that's why the karma plays a significant role. There's karma, vikarma and akarma. So we have to come from karma, prescribed duty, to akarma, where there is no binding. It doesn't affect us. So whatever action we do, because of doing it for Krishna, for understanding everything in relation with Krishna, everything in relation with God. So that is the main purpose of Bhagavad Gita. But it's a systematic understanding we have to have. It's not a one day, I know, now I have been told that I have to act everything in relation with Krishna. But what does that mean? It is not going to be understood in a one day. So it requires knowledge step by step, chapter after chapter. That's why last 6 chapters you see the sequence of Prakriti, Purusha, nature, enjoyer, consciousness. That's how the 13th chapter begins. So it is telling who is actually, what is this material nature, whom it belongs, who is the actual enjoyer, and with what consciousness we have to operate every day. It's very important. If we don't know that, then we have to face the reactions. Then we have to take up again another birth, whether it's human birth or lower species or higher species, we don't know, because that is the biggest problem. So that's why karma plays a very intricate role. So that's why it is very much important. And then, hold on, let me mute. Okay. So the karma plays intricate role. That's why the 13th chapter and the 14th chapter, 3 modes of material nature, 15th chapter Purushottam Prapti, in that also talking about the same thing in terms of giving the example of Aswatha Vriksha banyan tree, how the deep rooted attachment is there in terms of the enjoyment with this material world. So how to cut that internally. Nothing should be renounced artificially or outside and externally. Everything should be done. All the job, our family, taking care, everything must be done. Duty must be done. Only the internal detachment with how we see, with what eyes we see. So what kind of vision we see. That is the important point. So then 16th chapter also, divisions of faith, divine and demoniac nature. Are we acting on the divine nature or are we acting on the demoniac nature? Division of what kind of faith we are acting every day. Are we acting on the mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance? Generally when the day starts, that's why our activities must be done in the morning. If we can do something, reading Bhagavad Gita every day, 10 minutes a day, in the morning before we start the activities, at least our mind and intelligence is sharpened. Then the whole day can be much more peaceful and tolerant and not get agitated by what is going on surrounding us. So many things goes on. We cannot avoid it because we are in this material world. Not everybody is up to the mark. So obviously we have to face the things, very difficult, unwanted things, irreligious things. We have to face that. So, but we shouldn't be agitated. So in order for that, we have to practice it in the mode of goodness in the morning. Then later on the time after 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, mode of passion begins. By the time evening starts, the mode of ignorance begins. So it is very difficult to control our senses. And Prabhupada talks about in these 3 verses, you will see in the purport, that is the most important point Prabhupada is making. 3 things Prabhupada is mentioning. So in this way we understand, that's why this chapter 1 is giving really a glimpse. In order for us to come to this surrender, prapanna, and this 2.7 it is mentioned, in order for us to really make good decisions, good judgments, choose right path, choose right job, what is favorable, what is not favorable. In order for that, for us to understand that, at least we should have a basic understanding of this chapter 1 also, where it is giving the indications how not to act like Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, how not to associate, deepen intimate association, how Duryodhana had with Shakuni and others, and polluted the mind and forgot all his pious credit, lost his pious credit and forgot his all the actual dharma, and is acting improperly, inappropriately, and the way he is communicating with his elders, Dronacharya and Dhritarashtra, is completely against. He never taken guidance from Brahmanas or Vaishnavas. None of that. He hasn't performed his job properly as a king, as a kshatriya. He is supposed to take guidance on the Brahmanas, but he didn't. He always neglected. So that's when he has to face the reactions. So all these points to be considered in this way, victory. And then finally the Arjuna is giving various reasons from 27 verse onwards. So where he is giving reasons of, I don't want to fight because too much compassionate to his own family. I don't want to fight because of too much no enjoyment. If I am going to kill all of them, whom I am going to share this opulence? Then he said, simple activity. If I kill my own family, even though there are 6 kinds of aggressors, they have taken my wife away, they have taken the wealth away, they have tried to burn my house and burn us, and so many things. All this, as per one Shastra, you don't get reactions if you kill them. But still Arjuna was even more, he was bringing Niti Shastra, so many other things, that no, he is sadhu, saintly, he is behaving, that no, I am going to incur sinful, I don't want to do that, this simple activity. Then he has given the reason, destruction of dynasty. Then he has given the reason of all the community projects, this dharma ardha will be stopped. People will, there will be unwanted progeny. So many things, all these reasons were given in the chapter 1. Then he fell silent, he sat down, he completely lost all his composure. This is the chapter 1, scene of chapter 1, observing the armies. So that means that the second chapter begins where Arjuna sat down and Arjuna is crying. Asru purna kulekshanam visidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. Sanjay is telling Krishna, seeing his Madhusudana, who has killed all these demons and doubts like Arjuna has, seeing the Arjuna's condition, he is the one who is ready to speak. So then we see that last week we spoke on this. So it is telling the pre-qualification to receive transcendental knowledge. Krishna is not directly giving. First, because Krishna cannot force. People may say, hey, why, if God is there, why these things are happening? Why this trouble, this thing, that thing is happening? Yes, because he cannot force. He cannot force. Love means it is only by free will. So that's why the free will independence is there. Every living entity has. So it is choice. We have to make the choice. We have been given certain bank balance. How we use it. So with how we see that bank balance and how we use it is depending on us. We use it as Krishna has given this property and it belongs to Krishna. I should use it carefully. Then it has a different, it has a different benefit. So otherwise it causes bondage and reaction and so many things will happen. So that's why we see here Krishna is not, instead of giving direct instructions, because Arjuna hasn't surrendered yet. Arjuna is thinking, I can do on my own. I have taken up. Is ready to fight. He is about to shoot the arrows. Chariot is there in between the armies. And as a Kshatriya, he is ready to fight. And then as soon as he saw his own kinsman, his own family, fathers, brothers, both sides, not only his side, Pandava's side, but both sides. By seeing them, he got attached to his body, and then he forgot his duty. But he still has saintly character. That's why he is giving different reasons. Is very mature. But in order for Bhagavad Gita to come, is acting also on this platform. So on the bodily concept of life. So from verse number 1 and then verse number 2 and 3, you see Krishna is instigating him. First, he is reviving his lost composure. He has told, just like we do also many times, initial enthusiasm is there, we lose the enthusiasm before we take up the job. Sometimes we tell our friends, our close ones, how can you do this to me? What has happened to you? This I didn't expect this from you. Many times this happens. The same thing, Krishna is bringing the same point to Arjuna. How come you are a Kshatriya, you are a great warrior, you are supposed to do dharma, but how come you are acting like a coward, acting like you don't even know what is the goal of life, you don't even know basic things. You are crying like a child who doesn't have any basic understanding. So that's why he has chastised him in that way. So just to ignite him, just to bring him out of his weakness. And that's why it is mentioned there, Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam, weakness of the heart. That is the main point from verse number 2 and 3. Dirtiness has come, weakness in the heart. So there we discussed last week that this weakness is nothing but the four kinds of things. Trivial attachment, simple things, ordinary things, but we are attached to things. So that makes us not to surrender. That makes us not to take direction from Shastra, not to take direction from a spiritual master, not to take direction from a sadhu who is genuine spiritual qualification, who has genuine understanding how to solve the problems of the life, how to see from has a vision of Shastra Chakshu. So that we will not be able to do that. So especially if we have this dirtiness, trivial attachment we got. So that is the first problem, is that weakness in the heart means that. And the second one is the kutinati, always criticizing, politicking. So this is criticizing others, always trying to find faults instead of going into positive energy, always being a negative and trying to find negatives in others. Instead of finding negatives in us, we are trying to find negatives in others, in everything what others do. So this is also causes great, it is not helping us to progress. So that is the second point in that weakness of the heart. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining, or one of our acharyas. And number 3 is telling the enviousness, violence against Vaishnavas, Brahmanas especially, and against other living entities. So this is also weakness of the heart. If you have a proper understanding, then we will not cause this violence. So then fourth one is pratishtha, self-aggrandizement, personal aggrandizement. For our pratishtha, like Duryodhana was saying, I am the great king, I am supposed to sit on the throne and enjoy. He is taking as a position, just I want to sit on throne. He is not thinking of what is going to happen to Pandavas, what is going to happen to the rest of the Praja. Is living entities under him, who is supposed to guide them to be liberated from this world. The king's duty, Naradevata, representative of God, father, mother, representative of God. They are also called that way. The gurus are, many gurus are there, many types of gurus. At least Shastra is categorizing as 3 at least may. So Vartama Pradaksha Guru, showing path, like our father, mother, our brothers, or whoever is showing the path, especially the highest goal of human life, the right path. So they are also considered as like that Guru. And then the Siksha Guru, that means who is giving instruction to progress and higher value of life, especially bhakti, developing attachment to Krishna, attachment to God, and behaving accordingly. So that is more than liberation. not so much of liberation, but above liberation. How to develop love for Krishna and all others, every living entity. That is the highest thing. So paro dharma, that is what actual dharma means, developing love. So with Krishna, when we are born, we have love like with others, our brothers, sisters, our mother, father. So that, but as we grow up with the wrong association, as we come up with so many different interactions and behaviors, then we get all kinds of unnecessary things. So our behavior changes also. So that's why it is very important. Association is very important, in what culture we grew up. So all these things matters to change our future, to transform our future. If you are in the right culture, you are associating with right people, then that makes our future much better. So in this way here, the weakness of the heart is categorized in these 4 characteristics. In order for us to remove this weakness, we have to detect that these problems are there, and somehow or the other, so many things we are attached. So we have to somehow understand that we have to surrender to the higher nature. Shastra, Sadhu and Guru, these 3 things. These are not everybody can do. Krishna is already telling that in Bhagavad Gita. Here also we can see that Arjuna initially didn't surrender. He is giving all reasons. He doesn't want to do, and that's why he is giving all reasons not to fight, not to do the duty. And then Krishna also didn't instruct him yet, because he hasn't surrendered. He hasn't fully thought himself that I am not in a position to decide. That's when you need. So here in this chapter 2, verse number 4, 5 and 6, and then 6 is telling, okay, now I don't know what to do. I should beg, renounce this duty as a Kshatriya and go to forest and beg, or I should fight. I don't know what to do. So please tell me. Then is 2.7 is fully surrendered. Prapanna means fully surrendered to him, and then he is asking, not temporary, just somehow get me through this war, get me through this battlefield. He is not asking like that. He is asking Sreya, permanent benefit. What is going to give me, not temporary benefit, not just enjoy the kingdom or something. He is asking what will give permanent benefit. Tell me, instruct me in that way, so permanently, which is going to help me in the long run. So that's what, this is the main first qualification we need to have. So here especially in this verse 2.4, let's go with the sequence. 2.5, Guru Nahatvahi Mahanvaso, first point here it is mentioned, is giving the reasons now also that O Madhusudana, you have killed the demons. O Harisudana, you have killed the demons. Madhusudana, Madhu and Kaitaba he has killed. But then you didn't kill Sandipani Muni, you didn't kill your spiritual masters. Why are you asking me to kill the spiritual masters? Where Shastra is telling, Arjuna is asking, because Drona and Bhishma are the spiritual masters, teachers. And they are the very senior elders, superiors. And Prabhupada is mentioning, superiors are not supposed to be given verbal fight. We shouldn't be contracting. Our father, mother, or sometimes our elders, grandfathers, or sometimes maybe our teachers, or at the job, or manager, or boss. Sometimes they may say things, then we shouldn't be contracting just like how they do. We shouldn't be getting agitated. But naturally agitation will come. But that's why we need Bhagavad Gita, for us to be not agitated. No matter what's happening around us, we will be calm and understand and think twice before we act. So that's what Bhagavad Gita help us with. So that's why we need to read and hear in the association of devotees regularly. So that will help. So that's what here Shastra is telling, that not counterattack, but more than that Shastra is also telling, Krishna is telling indirectly that Drona, and understand that we shouldn't think not just superiors, we should also understand, first of all, not to be attached with results. That is the first thing. Whom are you working for? That is the first thing we need to understand. Are we working for Krishna, or are we working for our body, or are we working for somebody else? That is the first. Here, Arjuna is attached to the results. Arjuna is thinking he is working for his own. He is not thinking he is working for Krishna. Okay, so that is where he is identifying with his body and the extended body, his own family. But he forgot all others who are 64 crores of men who are assembled on the battlefield, not his own family member, but there are so many others. And the whole kingdom is there. He forgot about that completely. So Shastra is telling, even if it is spiritual master, even if they are teachers, if they are in the wrong position, because Drona and Bhishma, because they are thinking that because I have received financial aid, they are the one, Duryodhana is the one who is feeding me, I should be with him. I cannot leave at this time and go to Pandava's side to fight. That's what they thought. That what Shastra is telling. So when the guru, when the elder, when the superiors doesn't follow as per the Shastra, as per right principles, as the right path, karya karyam vijanata. Guru eva avaliptasya karya karyam vijanata. When spiritual master or the father or mother or elder superiors or the guardians, when they don't follow the right path, they shouldn't be killed, but they should be rejected. Shastra is telling, they shouldn't be killed, but they should be rejected. In general principle. But in this case, obviously this is in the war field, so he should perform his duty and he should work for Krishna. Krishna is telling that yad karvosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, tapasyasi, that kurushva mad arpana. Do it for me. No matter what is going on, happiness or distress, do it, work for me. Then you will not be incur any reaction or sinful activities. So that is the main purpose. So even if you do something, means even if you kill others, you will not incur any sinful act, because you are doing it not for your sake, but you are doing it for Krishna. Like if you are fighting in the war zone, you are fighting for country, then whatever happens, then they will not give you punishment or do anything. Rather, they will give you medals, they will appreciate you. But if you do the same thing on your own, fight with somebody, kill somebody, harm somebody, then obviously you will be punished, because you are doing for your own benefit. So same thing is happening here. That's what Krishna is telling. Later on, second chapter, we will see that verse, or in the later chapters, we can see where buddhi yukto jahatita sukrute dushkrute yoga karmasu kausalam. So he is telling, act in Krishna consciousness, buddhi yukta, use your intelligence in divine consciousness, and then whether it's sukrute or dushkrute, obey both. Be neutral to all. Always think that I should be acting for Krishna. Yoga karmasu kausalam. Karma means activity, and with expertise, I'm thinking that this work, I'm doing this work for Krishna, not for myself or for somebody else. Then Krishna is guiding us at that point. So that is what the main instruction here is telling us. So we have to strike that balance. That doesn't mean sometimes parents or elders in our family may instruct us, but we have to see, when we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge with us, then we can differentiate whether they are instructing rightly or not. If we have doubt, then we can consult at least those who have the realized knowledge, and then we can reject the idea, reject the instruction what they have given. Like Bali Maharaj, Sukracharya is instructing, don't surrender. Here Lord Vishnu has appeared. He is going to take away everything. So don't give him. Sukracharya is telling. He is a demon spiritual master. He is the spiritual master of the demons. So, but Bali Maharaj, because he is coming in the family of Prahlad Maharaj, in the devotee family, then obviously is already, because as the Vamandev walking in itself, he saw and then he offered obeisance within the heart. He couldn't offer obeisance because Sukracharya is there. You may mind, because his spiritual master is right there, and they are against demons, obviously against Lord Vishnu. So he could think, and then he offered obeisance within the heart. With that consciousness itself, it helped the Bali Maharaj to all the way to conquer Krishna. He is able to surrender fully. Even though he is seemingly punished, Bali Maharaj was punished seemingly. He has been chained and he has been pushed. He has taken away all the possessions by 3 steps, Vaman. But ultimate position he got is Lord is staying at the doorstep and is in the Sutala planet. He has his own planet and own position, and he is going to become Indra, I think, in the next life. So in the next after this, Indra's life is over. So he's going and then goes back to Godhead after that. So Lord is giving assurance and protection. He's right there protecting a doorman. He's acting as doorman. So in this way we can see from Shastra also, and then he rejected. Shukracharya told in that way, then Bali Maharaj rejected. You are telling against Shastra. Even if I lose everything, I don't mind. I have given the promise and all my family coming in a great dynasty, I must act as per Dharma. So he rejected. That's what Shastra is telling. So we may not talk back to our parent, talk back to our manager or boss. We may reject, we may okay, can you consider this option? Can you think in this way? My thinking is this way. So in that way we propose, rather we counterattack our elders, our superiors, at job, community, wherever we are. That helps us, because when we have this vision of Shastra, it helps us to be balanced in our consciousness, balanced in our decisions, balanced in our behaviors, balanced even in our desires, aligning desires with Shastra and Krishna. So that helps us. That's what this specific verse is instructing. Verse number 6, verse number 5 is further continuing that. He is telling Bhoktam Bhaiksham. He is telling begging. I want to beg. I will, because you are telling me to kill the gurus, I will beg. I will just go and beg, renounce this and go to forest and beg. But Shastra, there also Shastra is telling that you are not supposed, especially those who are material too much attached, especially, first of all, Shastra is telling only Brahmanas can beg. Kshatriyas, Vaisyas not supposed to beg. Same way, Grihastha is not supposed to beg. Grihastha, those who are on the Grihastha ashram, not supposed to take anything from anybody in general considerations. We are supposed, Grihastha ashram people are supposed to give to others. Those who are in the Brahmachari, Brahmanas, those who are in the Brahmachari or Vanaprastha Sannyas, other 3 ashram they are supposed, other living entities also. That means animals, or we are supposed to feed, you are supposed to help them. Because Grihastha means you are getting many pious credits. You have been given license. We have been given license. We have been given some pious credits. So in order for us, otherwise what will happen is we will be attached to the things. When we are too much conscious of our things, building up of whatever we have, we are too much conscious of, absorbed in that thing, without giving away some portion of it, then automatically more and more we are getting implicated, because these things doesn't come automatically. So this brings attachments, right? That's why Shastra is telling, when you are doing bhiksha, begging, especially as Arjuna Kshatriya is telling, I am going to beg. The Shastra is telling Kshatriyas and Vaisyas not supposed to beg. Even if you beg, even for Brahmanas also, the general instruction is you are not supposed to beg from those who are too much materially attached. You shouldn't receive, but you can beg. There are two different things. Where you are begging, when you go for bhiksha, generally you get sadhus taking bhiksha. That's a different thing. They are actually giving mercy to that family from whom they are receiving. They are not doing it out of their need. I know in Kali Yuga many times we may see that, but Shastra generally is telling those are Brahmana, those sadhus who are staying at the door to get some alms, main purpose is to give benefit, to transform what they are giving, transform their wealth of those who are giving. So that is the main idea of receiving bhiksha. So that's why that doesn't affect. But even then also, if somebody is too much materially attached, then there is a reaction to it. So that's why person must be qualified to receive that. Like Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee, he can receive. He has received money or he received some various things from others. Too much material later, they might have committed so many sinful activities or religious activities, but still Prabhupada could engage them. Prabhupada could use it because he is fully Krishna conscious, fully. Nothing gets contaminated, just like sun takes, evaporate dirty places, everything. Sun doesn't get contaminated. Because of the pure devotion, so Prabhupada, pure devotees have, so they don't get contaminated. But for ordinary devotees like us, it creates a little bit of problem for us in our consciousness. Minute we absorb things, that's why people, you also notice that when somebody is trying to touch a feet of others, they don't let others touch, because you are taking the reaction of them, taking their bad qualities or bad things also from them. That's what it means. And then you are giving the good qualities, you are taking their bad karma and you are giving from your side. But obviously those who are Vaishnavas, like Prabhupada has allowed many times, most of the times, Prabhupada has allowed to, even somebody is trying to touch. This is elders. We touch our parents' feet, we ask for blessing. That is the general considerations, to ask for mercy. So it's the same way. So that's why basically intimately we shouldn't receive, especially those who are materially inclined. That's why we see also with what consciousness we give things. Sometimes people may give, but it gets unused. We can see how like if some festival happens nicely, when we distribute, when we give somebody some charity, sometimes things may not be used properly. Sometimes things get wasted also. It is with what consciousness we receive things, with what consciousness somebody has given things. Accordingly, the karma is very intricate. With how we have earned that, and with what consciousness we are giving, in a mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance. Accordingly, things react. There is a reaction. There is a utilization. How it happens. So that's what Shastra is telling here from this verse number 5. Don't accept, especially those who are on the grahastham, don't accept unnecessarily, especially unless something really something is there, then only we accept. Otherwise, we are supposed to give others, always not accept things from others. That is even grahastham. But Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, those who are in the preaching mission, those who are they are not in the family life, then they can accept, they can receive the charity, they can receive bhiksha. Because they are going to utilize in Krishna service, so they will not incur. They have a power to transform it from wealth to impurities into purity, dirtiness into mala to amala. So that is what from verse number 5 we can understand. Krishna, as Arjuna is telling he wants to beg, but Krishna is telling you cannot beg, you are Kshatriya. No, rather it is not going to help you. You cannot beg, you cannot go for long run, because you don't even have that quality. Your natural quality is not begging as Kshatriya, so you cannot do for long time, because that is not your behavior, swabhav. It is not your swabhav. Then verse number 6. Also very important. In this verse, Krishna is telling, especially Prabhupada is telling here, na chaitad vidma kataran na gariyo yaduva jayema yaduva na jayu yan eva hatva na jiji visamaste avastita pramuke dartra. Here from these 3 verses also, it is also giving instruction that in order for us to come to liberation, there must be a knowledge. In order for us to come to the receiving knowledge, then there must be control of the senses. If we don't have control of senses, we are at no point we will not come to surrender. And that means we will not accept knowledge, transcendental knowledge from bona fide acharya, bona fide sampradaya, bona fide authority. We will not accept, because our senses are not in control, at least to some extent. So this is the first pre-qualification. To some extent, senses must be controlled. So as we can see, Prabhupada in other place also, we were discussing that unless somebody is pure in mind, he cannot act properly. So if he is pure in action, that means he is pure in mind. If he is pure in mind, that means he is eating, sleeping, mating, depending. He is pure in all those actions. That means he is fully regulated in his actions every day. Every activity is regulated. That's why his mind pure and his action is pure and he is able to act. So he is also telling this swabhava. Characteristics. So from this word, that's what the senses must be controlled. So just like the regularly senses are not controlled because senses are attached to sense objects. Just like eyes. Eyes always wants to see things, then material things, material vision. Same thing with ears. These are senses, jnanendriyas, which is requiring always seeking knowledge. And mind's job is to accept and reject. Always doing that every second. That is the mind's job. When you see things, when you hear things with ears, when we smell things with nose, when we try to, when the touch, skin, touch, all these are jnanendriyas. So these five jnanendriyas as sense objects, the vision, the sound, the touch, the taste, the smell, these five things as the senses and sense objects. And Krishna is comparing in the 15th chapter this the banyan tree which has so many deep-rooted attachment, the tip of the branch, tip of the branches and sub-branches, twigs. So the tip of the twig is nothing but the senses, and then it has sense objects. Things are coming out, branches and leaves are coming out from that. So that senses and sense objects are attached to it. So by this nice flowery, the beautiful leaves, we get attached the same way. So we are attached by the sense objects. By looking at material, this is for my enjoyment. Minute the eye is trying to see things, then it is thinking always in his own, for his own enjoyment. Same way with the sound, same way with the smell, same way with the taste. So unless the senses are controlled, means we can see when we try to do things, what kind of actions in terms of our eating habits. So many things may be there. If senses are not controlled, you will keep on eating. So especially in mode of goodness, with what mode we are operating, that is the main thing. Senses are controlled or not controlled, we can see. If we are acting on mode of ignorance, that means we are more lazy, we are mad, so we are intoxicated. So that is what, that means you will do whatever you like, you will not listen to anybody. So you will be always in illusion. So that is the mode of ignorance. Mode of passion means too much active, too much into acquiring things without understanding what is going to happen. So with that acquiring, without understanding what this Lakshmi brings. So the energy of the Lord, Ardha has to be always with Paramartha. The Lakshmi is always with Narayan. Same as when we acquire things, when we don't have the right consciousness, then that also brings reactions. So that's why we have to understand this. That changes our characteristics, that changes our behavior. So that's a mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So here, with that, senses are controlled. So that's why the way we have to control the senses, Shastra is instructing, we have to develop higher taste. Then we can give up. Just like if child is attached to playing, then you must give some higher things. Same way, it's a natural consideration. It's a gradual progress. We may not be having this transcendental knowledge in the beginning, but when you start slowly, then when you understand, keep understanding things, then we can see, and then we can cut those things, unwanted things, slowly and gradually. Otherwise we can be biting our nails, we can be so many small things also. We may not be able to realize it. It's a bad thing, but our swabhava is coming for many lifetimes. And then sometimes because of the association, somebody might be drinking, then we will also drink. Somebody might be eating something, then we will also, because of him, then let me just do this one time, then we get attached, carried away with that same mentality, same swabhava, because of the association also. So that's why the Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Desina Param Drushva Nivartate Rasavarjan Rasopyasya Param. Higher taste. When we develop higher taste, naturally we will give up lower things. So same way, when we are in the higher consciousness, mode of goodness, then passion and ignorance, it doesn't bother us. We are not so much, because even though others might be getting so much bonus, so much higher salary, they might be driving a Mercedes-Benz and BMW and so many, or they may have big buildings and whatnot, so much wealth, but we will not be agitated with any of that. Because we know whatever we have, whatever we received, we will be happy with that, because we know Krishna has given us based on whatever bank balance we got, based on whatever pious credits we have, Krishna has given. So we will be happy with that. That is the mode of goodness. Mode of passion will always thinking, if somebody has something, then we should be also acquiring. There is no limit to it. We will keep on accumulating, we will be thinking always more and more, bring it on. That kind of attitude, then that doesn't really give us peacefulness. That doesn't make us happy at all, internally, especially. The soul will never be happy with that consciousness. So the senses will not be controlled. Senses, no matter how hard we try, when we are operating on a mode of passion and ignorance, then it is very difficult to control the senses. Because senses are always trying to accumulate things. Whether it's vision or hearing or the touch or the smell, through these five senses, it's always trying to absorb things and accumulate things and using it for our enjoyment. So that's why these verses, Arjuna is trying to enjoy in this way. For my own, he is trying to see attached to the result, he is thinking always for his own satisfaction. He is not thinking of Krishna. But here Prabhupada is telling, he is fully still, he is surrendering. He has understood that he is not able to make judgment. He is not able to decide. He understood. That means he is able, his senses are under control. Even though little bit attachment is there, obviously nobody is perfect. We are not up to the mark 100% perfect in our life. So that's why we need, when we have a perplexity, we don't know what to do, what not to do. So that's when we need spiritual, that's when we will receive guidance. Paramatma is there in the heart. That's when Krishna will send the bona fide representative. That's when we are in the right consciousness, right position, that's when we will receive this knowledge. Otherwise it doesn't happen. We can see in our own examples. We might have been called or asked by so many people, take this book or come to temple or come to this satsang or so many different aspects of it. We might not have taken up because we have so much impious credit and our senses are not controlled at some extent, then we will not be able to come to this position. So that's what Krishna is telling clearly. People may ask then why everybody is so many, but in this Krishna consciousness you can see so many examples. Like Henry Ford's family, he is running taking up Krishna consciousness. Henry Ford, Ambarish Prabhu is the chairman of one of the biggest temple we are building, Temple of Vedic Planetarium. How did he become? Because he has received, when he has understood that after gaining so much wealth, then they could understand what is the real value of human life. Then with that, then Paramatma has sent him to the right place, to the right masters, Sri Prabhupada. Then he is able to surrender. Same with George Harrison also. So don't think that this is only for those who are not so much educated or those who doesn't have much money, or only those people. No, we see all kinds of people, all walks of life. But it is what consciousness people have, what pious credit they have built up, what kind of sense control they have, then that point Krishna Paramatma arranges to meet, to be in the satsang or to be in a temple or somehow or other. Krishna will arrange that situation where you try to consider things higher value. Will not so much be caught up with what we have in terms of our wealth, in terms of our resources, our opulence, our beauty, our education, so many things we might be considering. But when we are at a point, we see the perplexity, we see it is nothing, none of these are satisfying really in our heart. Something is lacking. Like Vyasadeva was also thinking, after he wrote 4 Vedas and Upanishads, Mahabharata and then other Puranas, he was not satisfied. Then he was lamenting, something is lacking. I am not, even though I have tried to give everything for the benefit of people, but I am not satisfied. The minute then he thought, okay, I think the reason might be I am still fully really didn't give the highest thing of engaging in devotional service, Krishna Prema, the highest thing I didn't give. I have given so many other things instead of giving directly the highest thing. And then at that point, right away, spiritual master comes to that immediately, without a second gap. Narada Muni walks in. He points out his defects. So that's why it is the consciousness with which we are looking at, and when our senses are controlled, when we are in the right situation, Krishna arranges, Paramatma. Our desires are aligned, our bank balance in terms of spiritual credits, and we have that, that's when Krishna arranges these situations. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. As Krishna is mentioning in 7th chapter also, that 4 kinds of people who approaches him, and then he is telling also, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvam Samahatma Sudurlava. It is very rare. Krishna himself is telling. Nobody needs to tell us. Nobody needs to tell. Krishna himself is telling. It is not, everyone is not going to come to this process. Guaranteed. Because of so much absorption in this material world, they will not come. 95% of the in Kali Yuga, it's even more difficult. 99%. Even if 1% can become Krishna consciousness, then they can make the rest of the 99% Krishna consciousness. So yeah, you can imagine. So that is the power of association of a sadhu, association of a self-realized person. So that's what here it is mentioning, 2.7. This is the pre-qualification to a surrender to a spiritual master, to consider to go to the next higher level in our life. What is our ultimate goal of life? What is going to give real satisfaction? Currently, yes, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am 30, 40, I am young, so I still have a long way to go. Why should I, this is not for me, we may think, but when we consider in a longer run, when we are old, when we are 60, 55, above 50 years, what will happen to us? Anybody else is going to support us? At that time our senses is going to work, our mind, intelligence, and what is the loss? If you take it up, all Krishna is telling is, don't renounce anything, not your job, not your resource, not your money, nothing, don't renounce anything externally. All about with what consciousness you operate, and then you just read, take the knowledge and apply it. That's all Krishna is telling. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna or Pandavas, renounce, give up this family. Rather, Arjuna is telling, I am going to give up. But Krishna is telling opposite. Anasrita karma, karyam karma phalovati sakaravas sannyasi. The real renunciation is to act duty and not attach to the results. You are doing it for me. So that is here, that is the pre-qualification here. For Arjuna and for Alapas is telling, come to that consideration that there is a higher value of human life. And then at some point of time I have to consider this and go deeper and deeper and deeper, gradually, step by step, individually. Everybody's capacity is different. Everybody is not at a PhD level. So Bhagavad Gita also, that's why Krishna is not giving in one verse. Whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna could have told Arjuna, just listen, just think of me, worship me, and do duty for me. He could have stopped right there, one verse, done. He didn't, because he knows not everybody is in PhD. So he has to give all knowledge from beginning to A to Z. So that's why he has to speak 18 chapters. So with that, we will stop here. Much more to discuss, 2.7. But we can take any questions if anybody has from the Google Meet first. You can unmute and ask questions if you have. Anybody has questions?
Oh, I'm on unmute. You unmute.